this is Sue and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed our home tour videos. I think I was quite nervous to make them because I know that everyone and even I was kind of waiting for that moment for the grand reveal. And the more that you anticipate for it, the harder it is to kind of live up to the expectations. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to reach that level of content creation. But I think basing on your guys' comments and how much fun I had making the video, I think it was a pretty good success, and I think the house is pretty warmed. And I really want to thank you guys so much again for staying with me until this far, and for all the nice comments about how you guys are excited to see more of the house and how I live in it. So that's really great. House-wise, I'm having so much fun. I'm finally cooking a lot in the kitchen. I'm baking a lot and I'm having a lot of fun with that. And it's so funny because when I was living in Seoul, no matter how much I tried and how well I stuck to the recipe, all of the things that I was making turned out really weird. But in this house, I don't know if it's because it's so wide or it's because it's so beautiful. Everything that I'm baking is turning out really awesomely. And so I've been baking scones, I've been making brownies, and I've been baking cinnamon rolls. I've been making myself a lot of these blueberry smoothies, which is really easy. I know that this is nothing like really fancy or grand, but for me it's just one of those things that when I was living in Seoul, I really wanted to make it. I couldn't be bothered because of all the mess that I was going to make in the small tiny kitchen. In Tongyeong and with my big kitchen and my big refrigerator where I can actually store the frozen blueberries, this is a regular daily kind of routine. I used to always be that kind of person who always said that there's a kind of a system in the mess that I'm making and that to me everything seems clean. But this house actually makes me want to clean and keep everything really organized and in place. Because look at it. One of the things I used to hate about cleaning in my house in Seoul was the vacuum cleaning part. I owned probably about like 5 vacuum cleaners and none of them suited me. So like the first vacuum cleaner that I owned was a really cheap one that I bought under 10만 원, and it was something that I just bought because the house is so small and I didn't think that I would need a powerful vacuum cleaner, and it was a cordless vacuum cleaner, so it was really handy, but it sucked nothing. So even if I was cleaning, as I moved on, I would still have dust particles stuck on under my feet, and I hated that because it just seemed really pointless to be cleaning if it doesn't pick up anything. And literally when I picked up the vacuum cleaner, dirt would fall because it wasn't able to suck in the dirt enough. And then the second vacuum cleaner I owned was a lot more expensive, but I got it really cheaply at a used market. And I got it mostly because it looked very vintage, and then also because I heard that it has really great suction power, and which it did, but it was really heavy and it had a cord and it needed to be sucked into an outlet. So I had to pick it up every time that I was moving, and it was just so heavy, and I had to lean down and move around the body all the time. And it was just, by that time, I was like, is this worth the powerful suction? So when I moved into this house, I knew that I was going to have to probably vacuum clean quite a lot, like really often, because it's just so big and there are a lot of corners and there are a lot of things, and I know how much dirt, how much dust and hair there is in the house. When we moved out of my Seoul home, I realized how much dust there was, and it was so unsanitary. So I decided to get carpets instead of having tile rugs all around. Although that might be good for Sudi's knees, I didn't think it was going to be be good for her respiratory system. So I knew that I was going to need a vacuum cleaner that was powerful enough to suck in all the dirt from the carpets, and very portable and light so that I can move around with it wherever I go. And I also wanted it to be kind of pretty because for me, I feel like function and design, aesthetic visuals are equally as important, because if it's ugly, then you're probably not gonna pick it up as often as the Dyson V12s Detect Slim Submarine. It's a whole set. It actually incorporated something that I had not thought of, which was my kitchen tiles. I've been baking so much lately that my precious terracotta tiles are not the easiest to keep clean because it's not coated on top. And it's something that I did not think that a vacuum cleaner would be able to take care of, because I was just thinking that I would wet a towel and then just, rub everything off the surface. But the Dyson 12s Detect Slim Submarine, a wet roller head that does all the magic on it. So I did what I do best. I wrote Dyson a very long proposal and a very passionate email, and we decided to create this content together. So here is my first Call Me Sue's Tongyang Life, the cleaning version. The Dyson V12s Detect Slim Submarine finally came. It was so much fun opening up the entire set because everything looked so specific to its function. It had so much detail, like how I could put the wire inside this little slit so that the design looked perfect outside. Che also had a lot of fun assembling this machine. Before we didn't know what kind of vacuum cleaner we were gonna get. We were gonna hide it away really far in the back, but we decided to put it in the pantry because it looks so cute. So this is me baking. I think I'm making cinnamon rolls at this point. I followed recipes on YouTube, and I'm not quite good enough yet to give you guys recipes of my own. And I had so much fun making it, but there was a lot of residue on the floor. And before I would have panicked because I love my terracotta tiles a lot and it's really hard to get things off here. But I stayed calm and got out my wet roller head. It's really easy to assemble. You just put water inside this little tank and assemble the wet roller head. And make sure that your wet roller head is in fact wet. And then you just simply glide away. See how fast that it removes the flour on the ground? So the way that this machine works is that the wet roller head removes the dirt and spills on the ground, and then it extracts all the spills inside the body. That's why there's nothing on the ground once you move past it. And then it keeps the wet roller head hydrated with the water that we filled in the beginning so that it stays clean. You are the best. So the Dyson V12s Detect Slim Submarine can actually soak up a lot of things like an egg if you drop it. And I really wanted to show it to you guys because I saw the video on YouTube and I was amazed, but I just don't want to spoil a perfectly good egg. So I decided to go with the next best messy thing, which is these leftover blueberry smoothies. So I'm not gonna be able to eat it anyway, so I'm just gonna show you guys how the Dyson V12s Slim Submarine cleans it here. Right away. I don't even have to go again, but I'm just gonna go. Like incredible is that? If I were to do it by hand, I probably would have to wipe it and then wipe it again, and then it would still not be enough, so I would have to wet the cloth and do it again and wring it and everything. But this just does it in one swipe, and it's just as simple as that. And cleaning is really super easy too. You just simply detach the head from the body and you disassemble everything. So when you're cleaning it, you can just take out the wet roller head and make sure to dump out the spills that were extracted inside. And ta-da! Okay, so now let's move on to the motor bar cleaner head, which is really powerful and removes dirt and hair from all floors, but what I like to use it as my carpet cleaner. As I've told you before, for me this time the air watt is very important for me, and my Dyson V12s Detect Slim Submarine complete set is 140 AW, which is really strong. I had the vacuum cleaner for when we were cleaning this house during the renovation. That was really powerful, but that one was 98 AW. So this blue carpet had been here since we've been attaching lights and shelves on the wall. So it had a lot of dirt on the surface, and it kind of was up to the point where I was about to give up on making it feel real anymore, because my other vacuum cleaner couldn't clean it, and all the spills and the dirt seemed to have been really embedded inside the threads of the rug. But the motor bar cleaner head took out everything, and it made the carpet feel really fluffy and new, so it felt really nice. I was so satisfied. So this white carpet, I love this white carpet really dearly, but it gets really messed up because Suri loves rubbing herself on here, and so it gets all tangled with Suri's fur. But the motor bar again cleans up everything. So this motor bar cleaner head has hair removal vanes that automatically detangle long hair and pet hair, which is perfect because most of the other vacuum cleaners that I've used kept on having hair tangled in the wheels that make the vacuum cleaner roll around on the floor, which ended up scratching my floor. So I hated that, and this has a detangler, so it doesn't do that anymore. Look at all this hair. I mean, it's so easy to clean it as well. One of the most important things I think for a vacuum cleaner, if you really want to be able to use it a lot, is how easy it is to empty the vacuum cleaner, because it actually has a lot to do with the power of the vacuum cleaner. And the Dyson V12s Detect Slim Submarine is super easy to clean out. So recently I've been finally doing yoga again, but whenever I kind of start to get closer to the ground, I can't help but see all the dust that's on the floor. So that's when I bring out the fluffy optic cleaner head, which has a very precisely angled light that reveals really small invisible dust and particles. So one thing that I hated about vacuum cleaning was I wasn't really sure if I was doing it right, because I couldn't really tell the difference unless the dust was like super big. But this optic cleaner head allows you to know exactly what you're doing. It shows you like the tiniest little particles. One One of the things that really made me want to try out the Dyson vacuum cleaners is that they have a pet grooming kit. So this is basically a brush that you brush with that's connected to the vacuum cleaner so that once you're done, the fur kind of gets sucked in right away. The brush looks pretty legitimate. So the way that I did not turn the vacuum cleaner on while I was brushing. I decided to just brush Suri with it and then afterwards, suck it in. It's so convenient because actually I love brushing Suri, but it's all the fur afterwards that's the bother. And then this hair screw tool is perfect because you can put it right on the vacuum cleaner without the middle part, and so it's perfect for the stairs. So as you can probably guess by now, I am really enjoying our Dyson V12s Tech Slim Submarine because now I have a very good functioning vacuum cleaner and I'm actually enjoying using it. While I was looking at the Dyson V12s Detect Slim Submarine, I came across the Dyson Big & Quiet Formaldehyde Air Purifier. I was never really a fan of air purifiers, but this time, because we had moved in almost right after the exact amount of time that we need to leave the paint dry, which is about 2 weeks, I was kind of worried about the home environment for Suri because dogs definitely have a weaker immune system. So I was getting really worried, and about that time, Suri was kind of itching a lot as well. So I got really glued to the air purifier. And the thing about it is that I actually really like the design because most of the air purifiers, when I think about them, they are very big and they're very loud and kind of like an unwelcome guest that you kind of want them to go home, but they just stay there. Until I saw the Big & Quiet Formaldehyde Air Purifier. The Big & Quiet Formaldehyde Air Purifier is so simple in design. Its remote control is so simple and slick, and it can be stuck to the body through a magnet. So apparently the Big & Quiet Formaldehyde Air Purifier can purify up to 10 meters across the room. So it's best to face it towards wherever is the furthest away from it. So that's why we put it right there, facing towards our kitchen and our office. And honestly, it's one of the things I really love about it is that it's so quiet. I think Suri doesn't even know that it's there. She sits in front of it all the time. And with the breeze mode, I think she thinks that she's outside or something. So recently I've been spending one of those days where you realize that adults are always right. I never thought that electronics could really make your days different, but I am
definitely benefiting from the good technology right now.
So that's how I am keeping my house clean and safe these days. I really did not realize that I would enjoy cleaning the house so much, and I'm very glad that I'm able to present it this way. So yeah, I hope this video kind of gave you guys an idea for your next vacuum cleaner, and I will be back with some more of these daily videos. Till then!